Welcome to the another episode of r/Askreddit. What is no longer worth it because of how expensive it has become. All fast food. Used to be you could at least rationalize it as a cheap treat, but now it's just as expensive as higher end, fresh ingredient places with the same garbage quality and smaller portions. OMG yes. Burger King and McDonald's have increased their prices by an insane amount. It costs like $30 now for only 2 people. It makes me 100% inclined to not eat fast food again. The food is bad for you. It's supposed to be a cheap guilty pleasure. For $30 I can buy way better food, so why bother? Not that hard to resist the lure of soggy fries and dry burgers. Thrifting has become crazy expensive. All of the thrift stores I used to go to have increased prices. On top of that, garage sales are crazy. My favorite is pulling up to garage sales and see the owners have just printed out random listing from eBay. No Bob, I'm not gonna pay $100 for a microwave from 2010 because it's old for that on eBay 5 years ago. Edit. I think someone pointed out there is a Reddit for all of our unbridled rage. r/thrift grift. Goodwill has lost their damn mind lately. They have forgotten that they are a dumpster that people pay them for the privilege to dive in, not a boutique store. Literally, was there with my sister the other day and saw a metal thermos bottle that was $6.99 and the original tag on the bottom for $9.99. Was super dirty inside and all scratched on the inside. They got it for free and we trying to charge 70% of the original price. They are just testing us at this point. Doritos. $6.99. That's what I'm saying. 3 years ago at my local gas station, the really big bags were like $4.5. It's $7 now, and drinks used to be like $1.79 each with a deal for $2 for $2.50. Now it's $2.59 each with a deal for $2 for $4. Edit. This has 2k upvotes because. Edit 2. 3k what? How everything is now a subscription. Okay, I guess I don't need it. I also hate how you need a login for everything now. I don't want an account. I just want to buy a shirt. Right, and every week I get notified that my data is in some pasta bin online because they cut security. And when they lose the data, their punishment is to offer you a free service that will turn into paid. Ordering delivery used to be same price as ordering in person with a small fee and tip per item. Now most places have signed with a service, so they no longer do it themselves, and now you have to go through DoorDash or Uber Eats etc., which add on additional fees, increased prices from menu price, and larger tips expected for what in most cases amounts to worst service than back when restaurant or pizza joint did their own delivery. Also everywhere is asking for a tip option when checking out. Like I'm picking up my own pizza, I'm not tipping on top of the $20. I got ice cream the other day. The suggested tip on their kiosk was 22% for ice cream. Boxed cereal. A box of Cheerios for $7 plus? Get the out of here with that nonsense. I'll buy the store brand for $2 that comes in a bag instead of a box, at least until that gets too expensive as well. I need to figure out something else to eat for breakfast that's not boxed cereal. Edit. Thanks for all the kind suggestions. I'll be sure to give some of them a try. I've cut eggs out of my diet in an attempt to get my cholesterol under control. Oats or oatmeal etc. are an excellent suggestion, but they are a texture disaster to me. No matter how good they taste, I can't get past the gritty wallpaper paste texture. Oatmeal, grits, polenta, anything with similar texture is right out. This. Also, the family size boxes are not the same family size they used to be. Family size is the same size as the normal size like 5 years ago. Years ago I remember my parents saying not to get the family size cause we'll never eat the whole thing before they get stale. The normal size now is good for 2 bowls of cereal, yet the price is nearly tripled what they used to be. Cereal is the biggest joke going. I'm glad someone said it. I was so confused why they started labeling such tiny boxes as family size. That ain't enough for a 1-person family. Damn near everything and anything, except televisions. Go figure. DVD players used to be $900. Concerts. By the time all the extras and fees are applied they're out of reach. $1,000 to see Taylor Swift the size of an amoeba. No thank you. I never saw the Alatu Arena, concerts for superstars. You can't see anything. If you're watching a projection or a screen, then what's the point? Edit, spelling, cost of living or housing. We may as well just all off at this point. I'm an IT professional. I out-earn my parents by a large margin, yet I'm in my early 30s with no house or car. I'm gradually saving up for a deposit, but I can only do that because I live with parents and earn an above average salary. Even I get fed up. My dad bought our house on a single blue collar salary. I honestly don't know how people on minimum to average wage or end keep going. I honestly don't know how people on minimum to average wage or end keep going. Mostly living with roommates, making compromises, and saving on a lot of things. At least that's how the people I know do it. I honestly don't know how to survive anymore. Everything is getting more and more expensive, yet no one is getting a raise. Something has to give. I make more money than I ever have in my adult life. I'm also more broke and skimping more than I ever have in my adult life. I honestly feel like COVID really a lot of industries. That or greed got completely out of control. It seriously feels like in 3 years time almost everything is 30-50% more expensive. I used to like dropping by Starbucks for a coffee, but the $6 lats, or whatever it is now. I blacklisted Starbucks. I was apprehensive after the lawsuit, but I gave them a second chance. Charged me extra for light ice. They're dead in my eyes, and I was an employee for 3 years. They devalued their loyalty star program, and it's pathetic now. I used to go once a week minimum. Now it's maybe once a month. Farmers markets. Everything was like 1/4 what it had cost at the store, grown closer, and by smaller local farms. Then everything changed when it became trendy. Now it's more expensive in stores, and I question if it's even from local farms and not Costco. I question if it's even from local farms and not Costco. I go to the small one near me, and the sellers have things like citrus fruit and bananas you clearly can't grow in Minnesota. I don't trust that they've actually grown any of it at this point. I'm born and raised Washington State. I see some at a farmer's market selling apples in the spring and summer. I know damn well they came from a warehouse. Also they're all nice and shiny from the wax the big companies spray them with for grocery stores. There's a booth that showed up at our farmer's market out in Duval that is selling locally farm grown strawberries in September. They're exactly like store bought, that is white in the center. I think they're being asked not to come back. Cable television. And now streaming services are just as bad. Edit. Okay everyone, I get it. It's still much better than cable, and you're right. But neither are anywhere near as good as my Plex server. A pirate's life for me. Foot-long sweet onion teriyaki from Subway, and normal drink was $14 at Subway yesterday in Miami. I'm done with them forever. Remember $5 foot-longs back in the day? RIP. Feels like it wasn't that long ago. Pizza. $18 to $22 average for a large cheese is insanity. Pizza is incredibly cheap to make, and $2 to $3 per topping for a small sprinkling. Making pizza dough is the easiest thing at home. Tons of great recipes online for sauces, cheese, oven. Costco pizza is one of the best food deals around. $10 for a very large pepperoni pizza, and I'd say better than the fast pizza places, Domino's, Little Caesars, etc. It's losing its flavor quality. It's still big, but maybe the flavor loss is just because they got rid of the combo pizza. Such is life. In another 30 years, we are all going to be eating gelatinous protein slurry made from rich people food leftovers. Junk food. $6 for a bag of Lay's? I'll eat some damn baby carrots and hummus for less. Can't remember the last time I had a Coke either. In 3 years it went from $2.99 a bag to $3.49 to $5.99. It's price gouging. But supply chain issues. Posts record profits 9 quarters in a row. Concerts. I went to hundreds of concerts in my teens, 20s, and early 30s. The most I ever spent on a ticket, until recently, was $150 to go to Woodstock '99. I tried to get nosebleeds for Elton John's Farewell to last year, and it was $250 to get in the building. Live music is one of the greatest pleasures known to man, and Ticketmaster, all of Nation ruined it. They own the distribution, management, venues, event planning, etc. It's a vertical integration monopoly. Eating out. Eating in is way too expensive these days as well. Eating is for special occasions. No lie. My small company recently got bought out by a big company. We now get Grubhub twice a week as a means to lure us into working on site. We also frequently have catered lunches for quasi special events. I have optimized my eating schedule so that my company is feeding me 75% of my food lol. I'm so very grateful because food is expensive. Most fast food. I went to McDonald's the other day for the first time in years and was shocked at how expensive it is. Remember when McMuffins were 2 for $3? Hash browns are now 2 for $3. Yeah, I remember when the hash browns were 2 for $1. Airbnb. All of the add-on fees usually drive the cost higher than an actual hotel stay in the same area. Yep, market saturation has it. An actual hotel stay comes with clean sheets and towels, and no concerns about surprise cleaning fees when you didn't push the chairs in or something. Not to mention amenities like a gym, a pool, and sometimes free breakfast. Hotels also resolve problems more quickly. Buying a new car, even the crap entry-level models with no options, will run you near $30,000. Who the hell is buying a $70,000 Ford F-150? When we were looking, it was like $28k for a used Mazda and $34 for a new one. Like it, I'll just get the new one. Well, they aren't buying them. They are getting 7-year long high interest loans and end up never actually owning the vehicles. Brisket used to be really cheap because it has lots of sinew and connective tissue. Takes a long time cooking to break down and make tender. Now BBQ has taken off, brisket has shot up in price. Oxtails. I used to snap those things in for a couple dollars a pound, braise them, and eat like a king. Now they are $9.99 per pound. This has now happened to literally all meat. Stew beef is $7 per pound. If it comes from an animal, it has tripled in price over the last 5 years. Getting regular haircuts. $40 really? That is too damn high. Laughs in woman. I got a basic bob that they didn't even put product in or style. $70. Gestures broadly at everything. Correct answer right here. Coming into this thread, I was sure the top comment was going to be one word. Life. Streaming services. We are back at cable like again. Haven't worn a pirate's hat in many years, but I can smell the salty air. Same. Captain Panda has been looking for his bamboo peg leg. Perhaps Captain Panda should stop eating his own leg. Fixing things, which I used to love doing. It's often much cheaper to just buy another one. Especially when so much stuff these days is designed to fail and not be easy or possible to fix. Gotta love the planned obsolescence. Health insurance. We pay about $12,000 a year in premiums and also have an HSA that we contribute about $8,000 a year to. We have a deductible of like $10,000 that we have to hit for the insurance to pick up most of the costs. So in a bad year we are out at least $20,000 for medical insurance. We have 2 kids and are pretty healthy, but seem to hit this every year now. Plans get worse every year. My wife was offered insurance through U-Work, and to just have a spouse, the premium plus deductible was higher than her annual income. It was a complete joke. Seriously, I told my wife that if it gets much more expensive, we should just cancel it and pay cash. If we get hit with a huge bill for something, just declare bankruptcy. If the insurance companies want to us with this, we can them right back. Most all chain restaurants, way better to go to locally owned places. I have loved Panera for almost 15 years, but it's been a while since I went there. Wanted to get lunch delivered yesterday, so thought it'd be nice to have Panera. Chose a you pick to option. Soup was $9 and a sandwich was $17. $26 plus tax for a freaking lunch at Panera. I could get a gourmet pizza for that price. Honestly, Panera can right off. Panera was bought by Jab Holding Company in 2017, and their CEO was soon replaced. They began cutting quality and shrinking their portion sizes, similar to what happened when places like Chili's and Applebee's got bought up. The holding companies will extract every penny from the chain before selling it off for scrap. Amazon Prime. It used to be the go-to for everything. Free 2-day shipping and good quality products for cheap. Now it's just Chinese products with Prime increasing their annual fees. Honestly, just not worth it anymore. I have noticed there is a lot more garbage on Amazon now. I've even received counterfeit car parts and stuff like that. It's becoming wish.com without the cheap prices. Not to mention I haven't gotten 2-day shipping since COVID, even while paying for Prime. Amazon gives free standard shipping on orders over $35, so I just add things to my cart over time until I hit that minimum and accept it'll be at least a week. Helps with impulse shopping too lol. This is gonna sound weird, but store brand butter. Inflation hit and Kroger ramped up the price for its generic brand, but by doing so made it cost $2 less than Land O'Lakes. Pre-inflation a $3 thing of Kroger, but looked more reasonable than the $5.50 or whatever for lol. Now it's like I use less but anyway, might as well spend the extra couple bucks to directly support dairy farmers. No kidding, at that price we just buy the Kerrygold. Is there a tax on using in butter in your country? Going out drinking? Yeah, after college, it's become less fun to stand around a crowded place drinking a Corona I paid $9 for. The only time I have fun with it now is if I'm drunk, but I have to spend so much to do that, and the hangover is atrocious. Streaming services as a whole like Netflix, Disney, Hulu, even my Spotify went up in price, and it's frankly tiring with these services. Definitely dropping my Netflix and Hulu though for a VPN, so I can finally sail the seas and use Plex for my media. I had no idea Netflix's price increase came with lower tier options. So I reduced the plan from the 4K plan to the HD plan, because we don't even have a 4K TV. 4K for Netflix also means higher bitrate, so even if you don't have a 4K screen of sorts, you do notice the clearer picture on more modern film or TV series. Living. Seriously, the rent is just too damn high. And food. And besides, who wants to live when society is organized so that your only purpose for existing is to make some evil CEO rich? Printer ink. Especially if you want to print photos. There's really no sense in DIY photo printing unless you're a professional. Not when you can go to places like Staples or Walmart and have them print it for a literal quarter. Buying photo printers is an absolute gimmick people fall for every day that they waste hundreds of dollars on when they could just have their stuff professionally printed for a tiny fraction of the cost. Let's be honest, this was a given. Disney trip. My girlfriend started charting out costs for a 1-week trip there. It's just the two of us, and it was around $4,500. I told her we could easily do a week-long international trip for less than that. You can literally fly to Europe and spend a week there cheaper than you can do a week at Disney. Children. The cost of living is so high and the job market is so volatile that I wish I didn't have kids because the stress is insane. I lost my job yesterday cause I work in the games industry and it is genuinely bleak and terrifying. I love my kids, but living in the UK is awful right now. I'm surprised this isn't higher. Probably speaks to the demographic here. If you'll think fast food is expensive, who boy wait until you have a kid or two. You can buy McDonald's lunch every day for an entire year with a single month's daycare payment. Daycare is more than tuition, room and board at a university. Honestly, living in general. Everyone in here nitpicking. Life is not affordable anymore. I'm not sure what the plan is. Do we all just die? Then what? The time is coming where people literally won't be able to afford the stuff everyone is mentioning, and then the economy will fully implode, and we'll be in a full-on recession again. Then the companies will all get bailouts from the US government for being greedy, and life just continues on. Seriously though, something's got to give with this greedflation. They all started by using the COVID card. This shit has got to be corrected. It breaks my heart to say this as a Brit, but going out to bars and pubs. I'm 35 with kids, so don't go out as much these days, but I went out in Manchester last week, and each beer was costing me £6 plus. It's no surprise pubs are closing, and people are drinking more at home. At this rate we are going to end up like the Scandinavian countries, who drink at home till midnight, and then hit the clubs, when they are already pissed, and don't need to buy more than 1 or 2 drinks. £5 would get you a burger, fries and a pint. When I was in university, Airbnb. It's now just as expensive as a hotel with several more downsides. You usually have to complete a list of chores before you leave, and when you arrive someone walks through the property with you and goes through a list of rules so restrictive it shouldn't be on the platform in the first place. Staying in a hotel is so much more carefree, and depending on the type of trip, much more convenient. Plus a lot of places have the cheek to ask you to do chores and have a cleaning fee too. Very specific, but Drumsticks. Early 2000s you could get a name brand pair for $7-ish. Now many brands are $19. For a second I was like, damn that's some expensive crappy ice cream. Bowling. I'm looking at you Bolero. Who goes to Bolero? How do they stay in business? It is crazy expensive. 4 of us went, had a pizza and soft drinks, nothing excess, as well as 3 games of bowling, over $150. They have bought everything here in the DC area, then jacked the shit out of the rates. $16 per game, $15 for shoes. My brother, his wife and 2 kids went last weekend. Prices aren't posted anywhere. Bowled 2 games, didn't buy anything else, and it was $192.20, and got called a cheapskate by the counter kid, because of course there's a tip line on those receipts now. Soft drinks. It's carbonated sugar water that cost them approximately 7 cents. The cup costs about 10 cents. Let's charge them $3. $3 for a damn 2-liter bottle. I remember it cost like $1 in the 90s for a 2-liter. It's insane. Thank you.